Hello, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this. Doreen the therapist again. And today I'm taking a very different angle of study. I want us to talk about something that is really going on throughout the whole world. As you know, there's been a realignment and a reevaluation of the United States funding, which has led to very many people either being sent home on a paid leave or being told that they'll have cut of their salaries, and some unsure of what to expect uh, in the coming months. Most of them have even lost their jobs because there's been a lot of laying down of people, and it's not an easy time to be going through this because the economy is really, there's a lot of inflation, there's no the money circulating is not enough, there's so much strain financially, and putting on top of all that a loss of a job, then that can be very devastating. And so before I even start, I want to speak to everyone that is going through this. I'm really sorry about what you're going through, and I want to tell you, give yourself time to adjust to this. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Don't bottle up any feeling. Just let it have its time. Feel it, because even the most unpleasant feelings, they pass with time. And so I wanted us to just go through this because I know most people either will not be able to afford going to see a therapist, or they have stigmatized seeing a therapist so much that they would not allow themselves to go see one. So I want this to be a session whereby it's a therapy session, but I'm actually just the one speaking now and giving you ideas on how to cope during this time. So losing a job can bring about very many feelings. It can bring about grief, it can bring sadness, it can bring anxiety, it can even bring anger, because you're going through a loss. So allow yourself to go through whatever feeling or emotion you're feeling in all this. If you're feeling grief, grieve it. Let it be a time where you go through grief, go through all the steps until you accept it. Don't deny it, don't bottle it up and maybe pack it down and make yourself not accept what you're going through, that you've lost your job. Allow yourself to know that indeed you've lost this job. Grieve it. If you're sad, be sad. If you feel angry, it is okay to be angry. And even if you are anxious, it's very okay to actually be anxious, because I know most of you probably are the breadwinners of your family, or your core breadwinners, in that you support each other in making sure your families run well. But then it has happened, you don't have any control about it, so you have to move on, and you have to have positive to be positive, so that you're able to move in the right direction. So I will give you a few things that you can do to help you cope in this time. And one of them is processing your emotions. By processing your emotions, I mean you can either talk to your friends or your families about what you're feeling. Let them know that I'm actually anxious that I've lost my job, or I'm very sad, or I'm grieving this. I cry myself to sleep every day because I'm thinking what will happen to my family. Talk to your family, friends, and your the relatives, someone that you can trust. Talk to them and express what you're feeling. Another option to process your feelings would be to see a therapist. As I've said, it is good to seek professional help depending on how much the pressure you're feeling in yourself. You should decide, should I go see a therapist before this one goes out of hand, or should I go see a therapist so that the therapist can help me be able to process what I'm feeling and move past this. So it is a good idea to do that, and it is something I would really even advocate for the bosses of people that are being laid down. Probably you're a boss and you have to lay a few of your staff down. I know that it is not easy for them. So as a boss or a manager, you can organize maybe a group therapy whereby you call a therapist to come and talk to your people, because I know even them going to see therapist on their own might not be something feasible for most of them, either because of stigmatization or because they will not be able to afford. But you can actually help them transition through this. You can call someone to give them support in a group setting. They can be talked to, allowed to have a safe space to talk of what they are feeling and be able to process it, so that they are able to know now what are the coping strategies, how do we move on from this point. So it is something you should consider in an organization. If you're the boss or the manager, you can do it for your staff. I believe that they have been good people to you, and I know it's not an easy time for them and their families. So this is a way you can help them cope to the next step. Another thing, as I've said, is seeking support. Seeking support means you will talk to people. As I've said, seeking support means you will seek mental support from therapists. Seeking support means trying to find out who do I know that is in the same career line with me, that can actually pull me in probably to where they are, or give me a network of a place I can apply. Seek support. Don't stay with this alone. Don't bottle it up alone, and don't assume that it's not going on. By seeking support, you even be surprised. At times there are people, our friends are just waiting for them to your friends are just waiting for you to call them, because maybe you've never even asked for help. They are waiting for you to ask them, how can I get assistance from you? So you will be surprised. We usually say in an African proverb, unless you talk, you can never be helped. So it is good to seek support. Seek people that you know are in the same career as you, and you've known them maybe for a while, and try network, try figure out the next step in your life. Another thing is maintaining a routine. This is something very vital, because you've been used to the same routine for quite some time now. Most people wake up, take a shower, take breakfast, and go to work. So this is a routine. And now that you're being laid off and you're at home, you might start feeling aimless, like you have no value, like you're feeling a bit lazy. It is good to now try figure out a new routine. Now that you have time, as I've told you, to take time to adjust. Don't be in a hurry to rush into the next decision. Now that you have time, try bring up a new schedule. You can do more physical exercises, take more of your duties in the house. Maybe if you had a help, you can do more of preparing your children to go to school. If you are a single person, you can do the exercises, do a Bible study, go after that, maybe go to some people and volunteer. You can just choose to reschedule, to do another scheduling of routine. Don't just stick there and wallow in your sadness and grief. Make sure you make a new routine, something that you can actually follow. That way you will be always looking forward to the next day. You know, if you are just wallowing in grief and sadness, once it reaches in the evening, you will be wondering, now what do I do tomorrow? But then if you have a routine already that you've set in place, probably physical exercises, volunteering somewhere, reading books. It is a time to grow yourself physically and mentally. Our mental, we grow our brains by reading. Read. It's now that you have some time to use, that you're not doing something, that you're a bit free. Take it to read books, get ideas, get business ideas, walk around in your center, go see what are people doing. These are all avenues for you to actually venture in the future. Once your mind is settled and calm, you can actually remember that this business was actually doing well when I visited the people at the center, and I can actually put up this thing. This is a skill I have. I can do this very well. That's how you open your mind. At times, certain things come and they're a blessing in disguise, because there are things you cannot think. If you're doing work 8 to 5, you're so busy, you go in the morning, come out in the evening, you're so tired, you want to spend a little bit of time with the children, before going to sleep, again tomorrow the same routine. But now you have time to actually think, time to read, time to network, time to walk out and see, what can I do now that this has ended? Is it the end of my life? Is it the end of the road for me? Think of what to do now in the future by choosing a different kind of routine. Another thing is, as you do this, I advocate for self-care. I have told you self-care is physical, it's mental. Do all that. Take care of yourself. I know during a difficult time we tend to forget. Most of us, when we are stressed, probably we eat very badly, or we sleep the whole day. We want to just be sad. We want to keep away. All this will lead you into depression and into even worse situation. I want to use an example of person A and person B. Assuming person A decides that because this has happened, I will wallow myself, and I will wallow in my sadness and go into drunkenness and just drink this away. And the money that they were given, probably just as a send-off package, they end up using all of it in alcoholism. In the next few months or in the next years, this person will be so frustrated. They will even probably be very depressed or even dead, because at times you can even just decide to commit suicide because of what you're going through. But then there's another option of person B. So person B has been laid off. He's been given some amount of money as a send-off package, or he had some pension scheme that he can actually now withdraw from. After allowing himself to adjust to whatever has happened, he has now probably visited a few friends. He's gone to see what businesses are going on. He's taken time for his mind and heart to heal, and now he can venture into something new. He can use a skill that he had that he never knew that it can actually be fruitful. It can give him something in return. By the time it is a year or two from now, this person will be very far, because they will have networked, something that maybe would have never happened if they never had the time to move around and visit. They will have developed skills that they never thought they had, because they didn't have time to think about these skills. And so these two people, you can see same situation but different reaction. And this takes me to the next point. Work on what you can control. You can not control what is going on with US. You are not in a position to do that. You cannot control the loss of job. It has happened. You cannot control maybe your cut-off of salaries. It has happened. But you can control how you react. You can control how you act from what has happened. By this, I mean change your mindset. Speak to yourself positively. It's not easy as it is, as I'm saying it, but it is something that can be done. Scientists say the mind does not know the difference between imagination and the real thing happening. In that, if I imagine myself and speak positive things about myself, I tell myself, I will go through this. I'm becoming stronger through this. I'm gonna be a better person through this. If I keep on telling my mind these positive things, my mind will automatically live it every day. It will relive what I'm telling it to be. And so if you're positive, you are able to now know, what do I do next? Your mind is healthy to be able to think of what is next for me. So let us be positive. Take away every negative from your mind. Try the very best way you can and be positive through this transition. Another thing that you can do now is being proactive now in job searching. Be proactive in training yourself, interview skills, study online. Ask people around. Be proactive in now the next step after you have relaxed and adjusted. Probably a week or two or even a month. Now it is time for you to go back to it, and go back to it with energy. Go look, ask around, practice. Like, I imagine you're going for the interview, so what will you say during an interview? Do these things as they make your days move on, a day at a time, because if you do this, then it is gonna be better than you just staying and being sad on your own. The last thing I will say is, be kind to yourself. Be very patient and kind. I know this time, once someone is laid off, they are very discouraged. At times, they even have self-blame. They think that why would everyone else probably be left and I'm the one laid off? Why was I one of those that were chosen? Was my work not good enough? Was I not good enough? All this self-blame really makes the whole transition even harder. Do not blame yourself. Be kind, be patient to yourself, because that way you will give yourself time to heal. You will give yourself a chance for tomorrow, because it's gonna be better. Seasons are there. There are hard times, there are easy times. There's rain, there's sun. That is why there are seasons in life. And as I always end my videos, I believe there is a God in heaven that knows what to do in his own time, and he makes everything beautiful in its own time. So hang in there. Trust God through the process. Call unto him. He knows. It's the only constant thing that we have. You see, you cannot predict tomorrow. COVID came, it happened. Now this has come, it has happened. There is no constant factor in this world apart from Jesus Christ. Draw your strength from him and be encouraged today. I pray that you will consider therapy if you feel that you really need someone to speak to, because therapy helps you in processing what you're feeling. It allows you to know of the skills that probably you didn't even know. They can help you now discover of these skills and how to make them useful for the future. So may God bless you. Hang in there and know that God cares and he knows everything that is going on. It does not surprise him, and in his time it's going to be beautiful. Bye bye. God bless you.